This 5 levels of freedom framework is the difference between being stuck and trapped and living your life like you're in full control. If you're an ambitious person who feels like a passenger in their own life and you see others doing better but you don't know why, this video is for you. I promise that over the next few minutes you're going to get inspired and motivated, and you will do things you've never done before. But finally, with this knowledge, you will be the boss of your own life. Every influencer, guru you see on social media, or celebrity, or really anybody who's killing it and winning in life in 2025 is probably using this. I've spent the last 8 years trying to figure out why people who weren't smarter than me had better lives. And this framework enabled me to finally make progress. It's just as relevant for beginners and more advanced people, because to get to the next level, you need to know where you are and what the next steps are. So what we're looking at here is the 5 levels of freedom framework. And I'm going to take you through each level. We're going to talk about what are the typical signs that you are on this level and what the definition of each level is, and what you can do to actually go to the next level, because there is a very clear step connected with each level. And we'll finish this by describing the most outrageous, the craziest level of freedom, and slowly we'll build up towards it. Now, as you can see, each level has its own color, just to sort of give you an idea of where we are at. So red signifies the most hardcore level, black signifies basically that 0 level, and each level has its own little nickname that I gave it, just to make it easier for you to remember. All right, so let's start with level 0. Now, this level I nicknamed brainwashed, because all the people on this level are brainwashed. And the definition is living with the script that society gives you. So living a life that has been planned for you by the government, by the system, by other people. It's the life where you go to the university and study something that you don't really find interesting just because your parents told you that it's important to go to university, or that you didn't have the courage to say no. It's marrying someone who's the safe choice because they are just okay, but you are not really that into them. It's going into a career that's safe and that's okay. Just to come back home hating your job, hating your boss, and numbing yourself with fast food, TV, alcohol, and whatever else can numb your pain, can kill your pain, and then just resetting that week over and over and over and over again. Now, the visual that I want you to think about, it's rat race, right? You're like a little rat waiting to go to work on the same day, and there are millions of other rats doing the same thing, and you don't even realize that something is wrong. You're like a goat that's stuck in a cage, right? And it's looking where the system wants it to look. Like, you can't move out of the cage. You can see that you have a head out. You can only watch things. There is no action you can take. There is no energy, no power that you can show to the universe. And this is basically the modern hypnosis. So you're like watching the news, you're looking at social media, you're buying things, you're very high consumption, you're buying a lot of things, you're looking at Instagram all day, you're looking at influencers, and all of the things that make you feel bad. Now, the typical signs that you are on this level are, there we go. You have less than $1,000 in savings. This is huge. Like, if you have less than $1,000 in savings, you have zero power over your existence. You are basically living on the mercy of your job or of your boss. So, first sign. Second sign, usually people here have more than 20% body fat just because they're so oblivious to what health really is, and they don't take care of their health at all. And they tend to be on the more obese side, although sometimes there are people who are lower body fat and are still brainwashed. Now, people here really believe the news. So whatever the main TV narrative is, they just like spew it out. These are the people who got vaccinated and were screaming that you should get vaccinated when COVID was happening, and they were okay with wearing a mask. Or these are the people that government steals money from them and then they still vote for the same party because this is what the TV is telling them to do, right? So you believe the news. If you believe the news, huge sign that you are brainwashed. A source of income is job, no other sources of income, so you're completely dependent on your boss or your manager liking you. And you have no mobility, you cannot change things in your work, you have to do what you're told, you have to be a nice boy or a nice girl and just follow whatever the script is giving you. And you are in a lot of debt. So these people usually have like loans for technology, they buy new phones but they don't have money for them, they buy clothes but they don't have money for them, mortgages, crazy mortgages, car payments. So like all of these things make you stuck, and this is where you're coming back, you're like this little goat stuck in a cage on level 1. Now, what you need here is something that I call FTE. Now, FTE stands for fuck this event, okay? So, fuck this event. This is an event that's very hurtful, usually. For me, my FTE happened when I was about 15 years old, and I was working nights in a warehouse. And I looked at the people around me and I just had this immense pain. And I had this realization that, oh my God, if I don't do something, this is going to be my life forever. And from that moment on, I took my freedom, I took my development, I took my success really seriously, because after FTE you usually confront reality. So FTEs are very painful. They're like, you can have a frustrating day. This is not an FTE. FTE just hits you in the face and you just can't stand the pain. There's usually, you might cry, you might have some sort of an emotional reaction to an FTE, but an FTE will put you into the mode of action. It will like your activation energy will become much lower because you will be like on the go. You will want to like escape this pain so much. It's also possible that you might have you witness somebody else's life. This works for some people as well. Most people that I've talked to, most people that I've read about, they have an FTE. But some people also notice how free someone is, so it might be a mentor or somebody like that, and then they want to mimic that lifestyle. But most, like 80% of it is you need an FTE, you need some pain, you need like an event that's going to kick you out. And because like it's so easy to stay in this hypnosis state, it's so easy to stay watching the reels, the TikToks, the short form content, and buying things and then working, and 1 month leads to another, and then what do you know, you're 50 and you're questioning what happened with your life, like you had no meaning, no purpose, no freedom. So what do you need here? FTE, or find a mentor who will show you what freedom is, and then you'll be able to mimic their lifestyle. Level 1, because we had level 0 before that. Level 1 is the level where you're after your FTE, so you survived your painful event, or you've seen a mentor who showed you what freedom can be, and now you are aware, now you are a student of freedom. So the definition is someone who starts questioning and analyzing reality. You look at reality around you and there seems to be something wrong with it. There seems to be like this thing that controls people, but you don't know what it is. Like most people seem miserable, most people seem unhappy, depressed, and you start asking yourself, why is that? Like, what's going on? You're still looking. There are some people who seem happy. There are some people who seem like they decide about their life, and there are other people who like life decides for them. And there is this statement that you keep saying to yourself, there must be a better way. Like, this cannot be it. This cannot be my life. And you hear these small whispers to your life, is this it? Is this what like my life is going to be forever? So you start questioning, you start analyzing, right? This is the student stage. This is where you go to the library and you hit the books, right? Or you're like reading some articles online, or you're just learning, accumulating knowledge, right? So this is the visual that I want you to think about, right? So you're sitting, learning, focused, and nothing can stop you. Now the signs here a little bit better. So you start saving some money and you have more than $5,000 in your bank account in cash, which is an okay number, especially for a beginner. Nothing that's going to like change your life or anything like that, but it will give you some baseline, right? You work out and you exercise regularly. Now, why? Because some people have a question like, why are you talking about working out when this is a video about freedom? Because a huge part of being free is being high energy and being healthy. If you're not healthy and you're not high energy, then you aren't free because you can't do the things that you want to do. You're limited by your health, okay? So that's why health is a huge element here. Now, you still watch the news, but you question, right? So you're like, I don't really believe that story. I don't really know. I don't think this is true. So you still are in the news cycle. You're still looking at the events, but you start questioning things. You don't believe everything you see. And you learn about investing or business. So you're still learning about activities that are very freedom producing, that are improving your freedom in a huge way. Now, what you need here is consistency. So consistency is doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? So for most people, when they start something, it usually looks like this. They have this periods of high activity and then it goes down to zero, right? So it's like this. This is not consistent at all. You have this huge spike and then you go down, 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 down. But what we want to do with to achieve consistency, it's not that crazy changing. It's more like about you have the same graph, but you're like slowly building up day by day, day by day, day by day, right? And it's going up. There are maybe I have a little drop here, but then you come back. Bam. That's how you keep going. That's how you build the consistency. So doing things over and over and over and over again. Because as long as you stay on the path, as long as you keep questioning the reality around you, as long as you keep learning, as long as you keep building your financial resources, you will get to the next level. So consistency is the key here. Not intensity, but a longer period of time. Now the next level, this is where we get into the fun levels. This is where we get to the good ones. So level 2 is first degree of freedom. And the definition is you have some freedom. You have some level of independence. It's not a huge level of independence, but you have some power. You have some decision-making power about your life. You're not completely in a cage like this goat, right, hypnotized in the rat race. No, you actually are able to take action. You have some agency. Now, the typical signs here are you have about $10,000 in cash. This is just a general number, but generally what we want to focus on is you have 6 months of expenses. So you can quit your job, don't work for 6 months, and you will survive. This is where the freedom happens. Because when your boss tells you, hey, you have to do this additional thing, because John got fired and we're not going to pay you for it, but you have to do it because you're here and you can't quit. So additional work for you, no reward. That's where you can say, no, I don't really want to do this. I'm quitting. And then you just go out of the door, right? Because some people are in the situation where they can't do this. Think about it. Their boss comes to them. He says, hey, I will give you this additional job to do and you will not get paid for it. Some people can't quit. Some people just have to do this. They have to accept it. So this is huge. Now you're 7 out of 10 physique and energy level, 7 out of 10 in fitness. So there is some progress. You're already better than 90% of the population, right? So you're quite good there. You stop watching the news. You realize all news is BS and it's just there to keep you stuck and manipulate you. You have one extra source of income. So you have a way of making money besides your job. And that can be freelancing. I recommend starting a business, entrepreneurship, or maybe trading or investing. Trading, because the last element is you start to invest. So you start building your financial pillar as well. The visual that I want you to think about is... bam, there we go. So it's two people, they have the same exact position, right? They are on the same bus, but one person is looking at the dark, they are depressed, they are sad, they're anxious. This is level 0, this is when you're brainwashed. But when you're level 2, you look at the mountains ahead of you. You look at the things that are coming in the future. You feel like you're building your freedom. You feel like you're going there. You're going to get better. You're going to build that independence. You're going to have that dream life, right? Same position, different mindset, because like you put yourself here with these things, right? So you started saving cash, you started building the body and energy, you stopped watching the news, because it's like this person on the left is watching the news all the time. They're like getting manipulated and they're listening to negativity. No, you're like, you quit that. All the learning that you do actually comes from mentors or from books. This is where you can actually make huge progress. So you learn from mentors and from books. Also, like here, this isn't life-changing level of freedom. So level 2 is kind of okay, but it's like being on the basketball team, but you aren't playing, you're on the bench. You're like looking at other guys. So what you need here, and this is huge, it's the courage to go all in. It's the courage to trust yourself, because there is going to be a decision that you need to make. Whether you want to follow the scripted life that they laid for you, that the system laid for you, or whether you want to go full freedom mode and say, no, this is what I want to do. I'm going to listen to my heart, I'm going to listen to my intuition, and I'm going to go all in. Some people don't have the courage, and they are never going to go above this level, right? So they will like come back to level 0, because you can also go down. So you save 10,000 in cash, then you get a mortgage, and then like, you're back at square one. You're back to being brainwashed. Now, what I think is the big one here, it's like something that I want you to remember. Success in life rarely has to do with intelligence. It has to do with character and courage. And it's a very hard pill to swallow for intelligent people who aren't successful, who aren't free. But when somebody wins with you, it's probably not because they're smarter, they just had bigger balls. They had bigger character. They went out there and they put it all on the table and they went all in without holding themselves back, without just tiptoeing around. They just like attacked it. So that would be my advice here. And then next level is level 3. Here we start talking, okay? So level 3 is something that I call limited freedom. Now, limited freedom is because the definition, you are free from the script. You are free from the usual average existence of work a job that you hate, listen to your boss, don't have desires, get a mortgage, pay, watch, obey, do what everybody else tells you, so that bank is happy, government is happy, but you're miserable. But there's one but. You don't have your dream life yet. And this is because you can't buy the things that you want. You can't buy your dream car. You can't buy your dream house. You can't go on the dream holidays because this would endanger your freedom. You would need to put your freedom in jeopardy, and then you would be able to buy things that you like, the watch that you want, the clothes that you want. So there is a trade-off here that you are making. So we are still prioritizing the freedom component, but we are still limited. So we are free, but it's limited. Now, also, if you get to this level, man, it's not like you're better than 99% of people. Congratulations, like you're 1%. And here are some signs. So you have more than $50,000 in the bank in cash. It's like a great result, man. Like if you are here, you should be proud of yourself. And if you aren't here, keep going. This is very attainable to everyone who's going to put their head down and who's actually going to put a dent, who's actually going to go all in. You have 9 out of 10 physique. You're high energy. You don't have any health problems. You're debt free. Right? Because remember, people who are brainwashed are always in debt. They're always chained. They're always paying their fair share to the bank, to the fat bank manager, right? It's like, yeah, I will give you part of my life because I want to have this nice car. It's absurd. Your income is $5,000 per month, but it's $5,000 per month for additional, so like for your business, for your income without the job, okay? So this can be done through trading. This can be done through business entrepreneurship. I recommend business entrepreneurship every day. And you have like 50,000 investment portfolio. Like you're set here, man. Like you can go. Okay, so these are my visuals. You can like fly, you can go on holiday, like normal expenses become small for you, right? You can have fun a little bit, right? But there is still some, like, you need to be disciplined. You need to be still, you're like in the zone where you aren't completely free. Because when you go on holiday, on one hand, okay, you can do this, you're earning good money. On the other hand, like, still, like, it a little bit, it degrades your freedom. You're less free because of that, right? Like physique, good physique, right? You have muscles, you're high energy, you're just like rolling, you're going with the flow, and it's a really good level to be in. Now here, this is the level that I am in right now, and I am in transition to level 4 of freedom. So this is exactly where I am at. So I am limited freedom. And why is that? Well, because when you are here, what you need is leverage. Ooh, magical word. What does leverage mean? Leverage basically means more results, same effort. So how can you have more results with the same effort? Because the way to have more results with the same effort, there are 4 basically, especially in business. You can do content. Like, for example, you're watching a video right now. I will give you a really interesting stat. Last 28 days, people watched me for 923 hours. So think about however much you worked last month. So let's say it's 40 hours per week, so that's like 160 hours, right? You worked. Meanwhile, I worked 923 hours. Well, not really that I worked 923 hours. I just produced content that other people watched, that they were educated by, that was valuable for them, and they were watching it for 923 hours. So what, like, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 times as much as you, right? And what's funny? The recording took me like 2 or 3 hours maybe with the editing. So 920, compare, right? It's not even the same. You can do capital. When you have more money, the percentages are bigger. So when you get like a 10% return on 1 million, bam, you get 100,000, right? That's when you are balling. And the next one is actually employees. So these are people that you can hire to do your work for you, right? So this is like you have people doing work for you. And the last one would be code. So it's using software. For example, having an app that does your work automatically, right? So when I use an app that helps me to put out clips on YouTube, this is me using code, this is me having more leverage, same effort, more output, right? So more results I'm getting here. This is all, like, I'm all about this. I'm studying how to get leverage. I'm studying how to get more leveraged with content, with my capital, with the amount of money I have, with my employees, with my code, everything to put me on the right track. Now, next level, this is actually the level that we want to be at. I love this level. This is called real freedom. Now, real freedom is you have 100% control over your life. You decide about everything. This is the goal. But you don't have to sacrifice anything. So you can actually live your dream life. Now, these are the visuals that I want you to think about. Like, look at Arnold here winning Olympia. You're the king, right? You can do whatever you want. You can buy whatever you want. There are no limits in the things that you're doing. You can move, you can live where you want. You can basically, man, you can do anything. You're so free, right? You're so independent. So this is the goal. Think about Daniel Craig in Casino Royale. Bam, right? Nice suit, drinking whiskey, having fun, right? Being free, being independent. So these are the visuals. Now here are the signs. If you have more than $500,000 in the bank, you're on this level. Same health level as the last level, right? You max out health. You can't really go higher than this unless you start doing some steroids. But Don't do steroids. Not great for you, for longevity. You're earning $10,000 per month income, but from a business, not from a job. So you're independent, and ideally it's a business that's independent of your time, that's divorced from your time. And you have $1 million investing portfolio. And man, these are some like really good numbers. Like if you were able to achieve this, I mean, like we're rolling, right? So like this is the goal. This is all the content that I'm making is to guide you towards level 4, towards the real freedom. Like all the advice that I'm giving you, all the lessons, all the strategies, this is like all to get you here. And this is my personal goal as well. So this is what we are building towards. This is where I want to be. This is where I want you to be. And I'm taking you there with me. Okay. Now there is a warning when it comes to going to the next level, because some people are extreme. And some people are just killers and they have immense work ethic. They're extremely conscientious, and be careful with this. Like make a decision here if you want to go to the next level, because next level will require extreme levels of focus to the point where it will probably damage your health a little bit, at least for a while. It will probably damage your relationships, and you will have to sacrifice your current life for more. There's a risk. There's always a risk that you will lose everything. So be careful. And I actually think that from this level to level 5, less than 1% of people. Like, I don't think it's going to be higher than 1%. So 1% of like this small number, 1% of people who get to level 4 will go higher. Now, what's the next level? Well, the next level is something that we call fuck you freedom. And I love this term just because the definition is you can say fuck you to everyone and nothing happens. You can say fuck you to the bank, you can say fuck you to the boss, you can say fuck you to the world, basically. Now, don't get me wrong, be a good person, be kind. Like being mean is not a good way to exist, but you're like, there's no limits on the things that you can do. You're basically outside of the system, right? To the point where you can actually be creating systems for other people. This is where it gets a little bit dark. Now, think about these guys. Bezos here, right? Bam. Jacked. Billionaire, richest man in the world, right? Think about Joe Rogan. That's another great example, right? A role model for many people. Elon as well. They all have fuck you freedom. They can do whatever they want without consequences. And just to put some stats here, the signs that you are on the top level, 10 million in the bank, minimum. That's minimum. It's like a small number. Same health, and it's hard to keep that level of health up with this level of work and income. So this is also a difficult one. At least $1 million per year, at least. I think it should be also higher, but I wanted to give you like the progression to be natural. High status, all of these guys, high status, famous, right? Known in the world. Like if you say, oh, like I hang out with Joe Rogan, wow, man. If you say I hang out with Jeff Bezos, I was invited to his wedding, like high status people, right? So usually it's high status too. And like portfolio is bigger than $10 million. Now, these were the 5 levels of freedom. So we went through brainwash level, student, first degree freedom, limited freedom, real freedom, and fuck you freedom. The thing is, if you want to build personal freedom, you need tribe. You need people who are going to support you, who are going to give you advice, who are going to basically make you feel less alone, because building freedom is a very lonely journey since most people are on the brainwash level. And to give that to you, I've created a free community where you can chat with me, you can hear exclusive content, and you can get advice from people who have the same goals as you, attaining personal freedom. So it's completely free. Check the first link in the description, and I'll see you there. See you in the next one.